Most people think wealth and happiness are opposites. They're not. But most people chase both the wrong way. The real issue isn't choosing, it's how we pursue them. They imagine two diverging paths in a forest. One path leads to a life of financial success, long hours, stress, sacrifice. The other leads to a life of meaning, connection, joy, but often with financial struggles. This forces a choice. Do you want to be rich, or do you want to be happy? It's a question that haunts many, shaping their careers, shaping their relationships, and their entire sense of self-worth. They believe they cannot have both, so they must choose one and forever wonder about the road not taken. This fundamental misunderstanding is the source of so much unnecessary anxiety. We see it everywhere. We hear stories of the burnt-out executive with a private jet, but no time to see their family. We also hear about the starving artist, who loves their craft, but can't afford to pay their rent. These extreme examples reinforce the myth that you are forced to trade one for the other. The real problem is that most people chase both in the wrong way. They follow outdated maps and broken compasses, given to them by society, culture, and misguided advice. They run on a treadmill, chasing a version of success defined by others, only to find the finish line keeps moving further away. They accumulate more money, but find themselves with less peace, less time, and less control over their own lives. This isn't just a philosophical debate. It has real-world consequences. It leads to lives filled with regret. People end up with bank accounts full of money, but emotional accounts that are completely empty. They climb the ladder of success, only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. The chase itself becomes the trap. But what if there was another way? What if you could redefine the goal and change the rules of the game entirely? This is not about choosing between money and meaning. It's about understanding the deep connection between them. It's about building a life where your finances support your happiness, rather than detracting from it. This requires a fundamental shift in perspective. We must challenge lifelong assumptions. Question the very definition of rich. Question the very definition of happy. This shallow understanding is why they fail to achieve either long-term. We'll tear down these old ideas. We'll expose common traps that even high earners fall into, leaving them feeling stuck, stressed, and empty despite financial success. We'll diagnose the problem beyond symptoms, getting to the root cause of widespread dissatisfaction. Stop treating symptoms, the stress, the burnout, the emptiness, and address the underlying disease, a broken framework for living. We'll build a new framework from the ground up. I'll share a simple, powerful three-pillar switch to get richer and happier together. This is not magical thinking, nor get-rich-quick schemes. It's a practical, actionable system to redesign your life around what matters. Make small, intentional shifts that compound over time, leading to financial freedom and genuine fulfillment. This framework gives you a new map and a reliable compass for navigating the modern world. By the end, you'll have a clear plan to stop chasing money and start building a life money can actually support. You won't have to sacrifice well-being for wealth or wealth for well-being. If you felt there must be a better way to think about money and happiness, you're in the right place. Let's begin. The idea that you must choose between a meaningful life and a wealthy one is one of the most damaging myths of our time. It's a story we are told from a young age, movies, books, cultural narratives. We see the passionate teacher who struggles to make ends meet, the powerful CEO who seems to have a hollow soul. These stories create a false dichotomy, forcing us into a corner where we feel we must trade our purpose for a paycheck, or a paycheck for our purpose. People who choose the meaning path often wear their financial struggles as a badge of honor, a sign of their integrity and commitment to higher ideals. On the other hand, those who choose the money path often justify their sacrifices by telling themselves that they are being pragmatic and responsible, promising to find meaning later, after they've secured their fortune. The reality is that money and meaning are not opposing forces. Instead, they can be powerful allies. Money can be a tool that buys you the freedom to pursue what you find meaningful. Hustle culture is toxic ambition in disguise, glorified burnout. Enough. It worships busyness, 80-hour weeks, bragging about exhaustion, paycheck first. Rise, grind, repeat, skip birthdays, answer emails at 2 a.m., pretend it's winning. Busy isn't progress. It's wheel spinning, looks productive, burns your life. Truth, brute force hours build burnout, not wealth. Example, contractor adds weekends, owner builds a crew. Real wealth comes from leverage, systems, ownership, software royalties, rentals, equity. Create value uncoupled from hours, courses, code, rentals, media that sells while you sleep. Tie self-worth to income and you shatter easily. One dip, identity crumbles. Income up, expectations up. New car, bigger mortgage, same emptiness. The hedonic treadmill. Chasing more complicates life. More meetings, more maintenance, less peace. That's the trap. Golden handcuffs, 300K job, 290K lifestyle, no exit, constant anxiety. Oldest trap, swap hours for dollars. Time is capped, freedom isn't. You get 24 hours, calendar full, bank fuller, peace empty, bad trade. Vacation sting, no billables, Slack buzzing. That's not freedom. The solution to the time for money trap is to begin shifting your focus from earning to owning. Perhaps the most insidious trap for high earners is the fusion of their identity with their income. The problem with this is that your self-worth becomes incredibly fragile. When your identity is your income, any threat to that income feels like a threat to your very being. To break free, you must intentionally decouple your self-worth from your net worth. This means cultivating an identity that is richer and more diverse than just your job title. Now, it's time to build something new. It's time to introduce a better framework for living. I call this the Wealthy and Happy Framework, and it is built on a simple but powerful three-pillar switch. True wealth is not about having more money, but about having more options. It's the ability to wake up in the morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. Pillar 1. Switch from chasing more money to gaining control over your time. Pillar 2. Switch from simply earning a high income to building ownership over your income. Pillar 3. Switch from pursuing external validation to choosing internal alignment over status. This isn't about making a radical overnight change. It's about making small, consistent shifts in your mindset and your habits. These small changes compound over time, slowly but surely transforming your relationship with money, work, and life itself. The first and most important pillar of a wealthy and happy life is control over your time. This is the highest dividend that money can pay. It can mean having enough savings, an emergency fund, so you don't live in constant fear of losing your job. That financial buffer gives you psychological space. The first, most practical step is to create a gap between what you earn and what you spend and put that difference to work. This is your freedom fund. Automate your savings. Another low-effort action is to start tracking your time for 1 week. Don't judge it, just observe it. Awareness is the first step toward change. The second pillar involves a crucial shift from being a renter of your income to being an owner. Building ownership is about changing your mindset from just earning to investing. Every dollar you save is a seed. You can plant it where it can grow into a tree that produces fruit for you year after year. A simple, actionable step is to open a retirement account today. If your employer offers a match, contribute at least enough to get the full match. It's free money and an instant return on your investment. Beyond stocks, you can think about other forms of ownership. The specific vehicle doesn't matter as much as the principle. Start building something that works for you, so you don't have to work forever. The third and final pillar is the most internal and perhaps the most powerful. It is about consciously choosing to live a life of alignment over a life of status. Alignment, on the other hand, is about looking inward. It's about defining success on your own terms and then structuring your life and your finances to match that personal definition. A simple, powerful action you can take is to perform a values audit. Take 15 minutes and write down what is most important to you in life. Then, look at your bank and credit card statements from the last month. How does your spending align with those values? Another step is to curate your social environment. Unfollow accounts that trigger feelings of envy and comparison. By consciously shaping your inputs, you can protect your mind from the siren call of status and make it easier to stay focused on your own path. Meet Anna, a graphic designer. She earned a fantastic salary, but she was miserable. Caught in the time for money trap, high income, but zero control. For 2 years, she lived on half her income. She aggressively saved the rest. The growing buffer of savings gave her security, a psychological runway to take a leap. Eventually, she quit her high-paying job. Instead of another job, she started freelancing. She traded high salary for high control. She created digital templates and started selling them online. A new stream of income not tied to her time. She stopped renting her skills. She started building an asset. Meet David, a successful software engineer. By all external measures, he was living the dream. Yet he felt a growing sense of emptiness. David performed a values audit. His current job, despite its high pay, was completely misaligned with these core values. David left his high six-figure job and took a position teaching computer science at a community college. His income was cut by more than 60%. But David felt like he had been set free. He is technically poorer by traditional metrics, but he feels infinitely richer. Less money, more joy. Less status, more purpose. The framework we have built is a map for this new journey. It is about a series of fundamental shifts in your thinking and your actions. First shift, moving from busyness to leverage. You focus on creating value not tied to your time, which is the only way to scale your income and your freedom. Second shift, moving from consumption to creation. You become an owner, not just a consumer. Final shift, moving from status to freedom. Build a life that feels good on the inside, not just one that looks good on the outside. The goal is not to get rich. The goal is to build a life that a rich person would envy. Money is a powerful tool to help build that life, but it's only a tool. This journey begins with small, intentional steps. They are small hinges that swing big doors over time, slowly shifting your trajectory from default to design. True wealth isn't having money to buy anything you want. It's having a life you wouldn't sell for any amount. Final thought? Stop chasing money. It's a goal with no finish line, a race you can never win. Instead, build a life money can support. Define what a rich life means to you. Autonomy, purpose, connection. Use money to buy back your time, build streams of ownership, create a life that is authentically your own, unapologetically your own, happily your own. That is the secret to getting rich, happier. Subscribe for more financial tips and motivation.